The UK is facing a pension crisis. A major public movement is gaining serious momentum across the UK, and it's something that could affect millions of lives in the coming years. People are now demanding an urgent change in how the government handles the state pension. If you care about your future, your finances, or even just fairness in the system, you'll want to hear this. And before we dive deep into today's powerful update, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any crucial updates on finance, pensions, and how government decisions affect your everyday life. Now, to the heart of today's breaking story. A fast-growing petition is putting pressure on the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, to take a bold new step, lowering the state pension age back to 60, while also increasing weekly pension payments to a staggering £586.80. That's not a small adjustment, it's a revolutionary ask, and it's already captured the attention of nearly 15,000 citizens who have signed the petition to date. And here's the kicker, this number has already passed the official 10,000 signature threshold, which requires a formal government response, this time under the current Labour leadership. The petition was launched by Denver Johnson, a determined campaigner who believes the current pension policy is not just outdated but deeply unfair. He argues that the government is treating the state pension as a benefit only for the privileged few who can afford to wait, while pushing the retirement age higher and higher, leaving many hardworking people behind. In his words, the government seems to be turning the state pension into a selective benefit instead of a right for everyone who has worked their entire lives. He also emphasized that tying pension payments to the national living wage would bring a much-needed sense of security and dignity for pensioners struggling to make ends meet. The demand to link pension payments to the living wage is particularly important in the current economic climate. With living costs continuing to rise, everything from food to energy bills, many retirees are finding their fixed incomes just don't stretch far enough. Increasing the pension to over £580 per week would mark a transformative shift, helping pensioners keep up with inflation and live more comfortably in retirement. But this conversation isn't just about numbers or policy. It's about a changing perspective on what retirement even means in today's society. Experts are chiming in with insightful perspectives. Graham Wells, founder of Grow Wiser Financial Coaching, says we might be witnessing the slow death of traditional retirement. According to him, people no longer see retirement as the ultimate goal. Instead, they're looking at life differently. They want flexibility, purpose, and autonomy. More and more people in their 40s and 50s are reconsidering what they want from their later years. Instead of stopping work altogether, many are shifting towards semi-retirement, part-time jobs, or even starting their own small lifestyle businesses. Graham added that he often talks to clients who actively dislike the word retirement. It conjures up images of slowing down and disengaging from life, which doesn't resonate with many modern professionals. Instead, there's a growing focus on financial independence, where people aim to gain control over their time and money, not to stop working entirely, but to work on their own terms. This shift in mindset is crucial, especially for what's now being called the sandwich generation, those caught between supporting their children and caring for aging parents, all while trying to save for their own future. For these people, retirement can feel less like a reward and more like a moving target. But as Graham points out, with thoughtful planning and a bit of creativity, people can still build the life they want even if the system isn't doing them any favors right now. And this brings us to another expert voice in the debate. Daniel Wiltshire, an independent financial advisor based in Bradford-on-Avon, highlights a growing generational divide that can't be ignored. He explains that those currently over 50 have, for the most part, enjoyed far better financial conditions than those who came after. Many of them were able to purchase property when prices were still reasonable. They may have already paid off large portions of their mortgages. They've benefited from historically low interest rates and are enrolled in generous final salary pension schemes, a financial safety net that is becoming increasingly rare for the younger workforce. In contrast, the picture is far more bleak for those under 50. Daniel points out that this generation faces record-high taxation, crushing childcare costs, sky-high property prices, and a growing fear that state support may be drastically reduced by the time they reach retirement age. In his words, the early retirement dream for the under 50s seems more distant than ever. So, what does this all mean? It means we're reaching a tipping point. The public is waking up to the reality that the current pension system may no longer be sustainable or fair. With life expectancy plateauing and health challenges increasing in older age, many argue that waiting until 67 or later to receive a pension is unrealistic, especially for those in physically demanding jobs who may not even be able to work that long. For some, 60 isn't early, it's already too late. And that's exactly why this petition has struck a chord with so many people across the UK. But let's talk logistics. Is it possible? Can the UK actually afford to lower the state pension age and increase payments at the same time? While the government has historically resisted changes like these due to budgetary constraints, campaigners argue that the question shouldn't just be about cost, it should be about priorities. If the government can allocate billions for infrastructure or foreign aid, why not for the well-being of its own aging population? Furthermore, increasing pension payments could actually stimulate the economy in some ways. Pensioners with more disposable income are likely to spend more locally on groceries, healthcare, leisure, and other essential services. This kind of grassroots spending helps support small businesses and creates jobs, providing a multiplier effect that could help balance the books over time. But of course, change on this scale doesn't happen overnight. It requires public pressure, political will, and clear long-term planning. That's why this petition is so important. It's not just a signature, it's a message. A message to the government that people are watching, organizing, and demanding better. And this isn't just about money. It's about dignity, fairness, and recognition for the decades of work that individuals have contributed to society. Whether you're a teacher, nurse, builder, retail worker, or office clerk, you've earned your right to a secure and respectful retirement. So where do we go from here? As of now, the DWP has not officially responded to the petition, but under current law, they are obligated to provide a statement since the 10,000 signature threshold has been crossed. The next step would be to see whether Parliament takes the issue up for formal debate. If the petition reaches 100,000 signatures, a goal that may be achievable given the pace of current support. In the meantime, the conversation around pensions, retirement, and financial independence continues to evolve. Younger generations are now being advised to start planning earlier than ever before, using investment tools, side businesses, and long-term savings strategies. But for many, especially those approaching 60 or beyond, the hope is that the state will also step up and not leave retirees behind in the race for economic sustainability. One thing is clear, the system needs a serious rethink, and this petition might just be the beginning of a much larger movement. If you're watching this and wondering what you can do, here's a start: get informed, get involved, and stay vocal. Share the petition, talk to your local MP, and most importantly, support each other. Change happens when ordinary people raise their voices together. And with that, we wrap up today's critical update. This has been a deep dive into a story that affects millions across the country, whether you're already retired, approaching that milestone, or just starting your journey to financial independence. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you found this video helpful, informative, or even a little bit eye-opening. We're here to bring you the latest news that actually matters, stories that impact your wallet, your future, and your right to a fair retirement. Hit that like button, share with someone who needs to hear this, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Until next time, stay informed, stay smart, and take control of your financial future.